Kids are in crisis. It is the last day of our week of stories focusing on ending the cycle of violence in D.C. So far, we've introduced you to families who have lost loved ones, kids struggling to survive, and organizations working to help. We want to round out these 5 stories with a discussion between community members doing the work. Jess Arnold sat down with 5 activists in Southeast D.C. to discuss where we go from here.
They've each been touched by violence. They're all working to end it. We brought them together to talk solutions.
We've seen an increase in violence over the past few years. We've seen an increase in kids getting involved in it. What are your thoughts on what the trends are telling us right now?
The trends are telling us we're in trouble. Having to hold kids because they're scared to go out the door, and they're telling you, they're in your arms crying out, I don't want to die, I don't want to die. It is providing that safe and sacred space that that child can say that, but they also have the services to help them go through it.
They haven't been taught to breathe properly and to say, okay, I lost my parents and my grandparents, but I have a life. I have a life to live. So you have to reinstill some hope, because the worst thing I see in kids is losing a future.
What we need is a strategy that involves and includes the community. Because if the government thinks that they can solve this problem without community, I think we'll continue to see the same cycle of violence.
And Pastor Delante, I mean, what do we do different?
What I see is violence is the language of the unheard. You ask me what needs to change, we need to listen better. What I have not seen, and what I would like to see more of, is our city really actively and regularly holding community, deep listening sessions in our community so that our young people can drive the solutions.
And it's not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen with more police officers. It's not going to happen with government throwing this and throwing that. We need a real plan that is rooted in public health.
If you go in any hood in DC, you will find a lady or a man fighting to save that community. But I promise you, they don't get funded. I feel like I'm that person.
DC brands itself as being so progressive, but in reality, we are really lost. And let's be real, this is about racial justice, it's about social justice, it's about economic justice.
These kids are crying out, and I will say it again, either we will hear them or we will feel them. I prefer to hear them. And when gun violence isn't that titillating to our politicians and to folks, we will still be here doing this work on a wing and a prayer and trying to help our community.
Now, full disclosure, I am a board member for the Trey Run Center. I volunteer with them. And last week, we actually just awarded 5 DC high school seniors who've experienced violence with college scholarships. It really was an incredible event. Here are some pictures of them right now. It's all thanks to a fund started in honor of Jeremy Black. He was a man who was killed walking back from dinner in DC last year. His wife has since joined our board, and each of those scholarship winners got $4,000 for their freshman year.
Wow.
Amazing work, Jess.
Because that's the hope. Get them to that part. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Get them to that part. Jess, this week has been incredible from every aspect, because I've often thought, what are the kids saying themselves? Like, what are the challenges? So you touched on that for one.
Not only the kids, which was amazing to hear them straight from their minds. This right here, this conversation, I mean, it doesn't get more real than going straight to the people and listening.
Exactly.
And seeing this piece today is great after the whole week, because there is some hope for a better future for these kids.
Yeah, I mean, if you could solve this problem with just passion and determination alone, we certainly would between the 5 of them. Honestly, they're so inspiring. We have that hour-long conversation available online, and I'm hopeful after hearing it. So I hope that everyone watches it so that they can also take away a little bit of inspiration about what we can all do to make a difference.
All right.
Jess Arnold.